Those of you with keen eyes might have noticed that I left out a particular laptop in my previous video. The laptop which I am alluding to is my Lenovo y560p, purchased brand new in spring of 2011 from Fry's Electronics. The reason why I did not include that in my lump sum laptop video was because I wanted to go a little bit more in depth in that. So, during my first year of high school, I didn't really have a laptop to use. Okay, I had a computer to use. I had the family's computer to use to write essays, whatnot, etc., which is fine. But I really wanted a laptop. And my dad had a laptop, but his laptop, like I said in the other video, was the HP, and it was sort of old, and I wanted something new. So I was thinking, why don't I just buy something? So I looked and looked, and actually this started back, I think I started high school in 2010, like 2010. So I was looking at laptops for almost a year and a half. Looking at reviews, looking at specs, trying to figure out which one was the best. I wanted something with a really fast CPU and a lot of RAM. Or something I could upgrade. I knew I wanted something with at least an i5, an i7 preferably. And I wanted to make sure it could play games. And I had set myself a budget of basically about $1,000. I was basically just going to take the money from my savings account that I'd been saving up over birthdays and allowances and Christmases, and whatever I had in there, I would apply towards a laptop. So about a year before I got it, I had about $600. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go and grab a laptop. And I looked at Costco. I looked at a Costco special. Actually, it was probably Sam's Club at that time. So I looked at that, and I almost bought it. And then I realized, I don't have to buy something just because I have money. So I thought about it and I looked at all of them, and I started looking at Lenovo laptops. And I knew that their laptops were really good. So I was looking at the Y series, and they just come out with the Y5 series. The y560 just came out, and they are going to create y560p. The y560 is the media version that's more, I don't know, the y560 and y560p were sort of meh. They're about the same. The y560 came with a 750 gigabyte hard drive and 8 gigabytes of RAM. Whereas the y560p had the same GPU, same CPU, but only gave 4 gigabytes and a 500 gigabyte hard drive. So I decided on the y560p, but this was during the CPU problem between the Sandy Bridge and the Ivy Bridge, or I think so, the first and second generation. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting, and I was going to buy it, and then I realized it had the first generation CPU. That was the y560. So the y560p had the second generation. So I decided to buy it, I went to Fry's, I bought it, and here it is. This features a Core i7 2640, I think. Let me look that up. Let me just sit down first. Okay, so this has a Core i7 2630Q, meaning a quad core with it's a quad core, but also has hyper-threading. It's the mobile edition with a 2 GHz base clock, and it can turbo boost up to 2.9 GHz. I had 8 gigabytes of RAM in this, and then I took 2, actually I had 8, and I wanted to put 8 into my MacBook Pro over here. But I didn't have enough. So what I did was I compromised and put 6 gigabytes in this and 6 in this. The GPU is an AMD 6570M, which, let's see, well, okay, it's based on the 5000 series, There's a 6570M GPU, and it has JBL speakers also. Where did it... yeah, okay, so for video RAM, it has... yeah, okay, here we are. So, kind of rambling. The Core i7 was a quad-core, but it has hyper-threading, so you have 8 usable cores. So when you're rendering video, that's really, really pretty fast. And so you have about 3 gigabytes usable of video RAM, 1 gigabyte dedicated, and it can use up to, I think, 4 gigabytes shared from the system. Sorry, my desktop's kind of, junky. So if we go over to Task Manager and open it up and go to Performance, you can see that we have 8 cores available to us. And since I'm uploading a YouTube video using Firefox, it's using about 2.7 gigabytes out of 6 gigabytes. But, I mean, it was using about the same. I mean, on idle, it uses about a gigabyte of RAM. But even when I had 8 gigabytes, it never really topped that much. The only time it would use a lot of RAM would be if I was running a lot of virtual machines. What else have I done with this? I upgraded the hard drive to a 1 terabyte 7200 RPM hard drive. It still has the default, original DVD-ROM, CD-ROM burner there. It has a total of, I think, 4 USB. This is actually an eSATA USB combo. USB 2.0 here. And on this side, we have VGA out, HDMI, and then Ethernet, headphone, microphone, 2 USB 2.0s. And around the back, you don't have anything other than the battery. The only thing that really failed or acted weird on this was I had to replace the battery early. Well, not early. Since I bought this in 2011, in 2014, December 2014, I had to replace the battery. And that's okay, I guess, but considering the fact I'd been gaming off the battery for hours and hours and hours, and most of that gaming was in Grand Theft Auto 4, I mean, I pretty much killed that battery. So I replaced the battery, and now I get about 40 minutes. But I mean, this is a second generation Core i7 with dedicated graphics. It's not going to really be that power conscious. It's a gaming laptop. It's a performance laptop. So I edit all my videos on this. I do all my screencasting, all my gameplay stuff on this. It is really my workhorse. I really wish, in some ways, I had gotten the i7 version. With the i7, it has a problem. Well, okay, there are 2 versions. The 13-inch and the 15-inch. The 15-inch 2011-2010 have the GPU problem, regardless of what CPU you have. The i7 and the i5 with the 13-inch are pretty much matched, because they're still going to run on integrated graphics. So you're going to get better battery life with the i5 and the 13-inch. Oh, and here's my Samsung S5 phone. I love that phone. I'll be going over that a little bit. So this is my laptop that I use on a daily basis. So, if you liked this, thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs down. Leave a comment, suggestions. I'll think up something else to do a video on soon. This has been Zesty Panda with another video.